Back to the Scrabble Players Championship 2026. Joey Mallick versus Joe Edley. Josh Sokol here with Matt Canik. What a matchup. These guys have played each other so often. Joe Edley, three-time national champion, won in 1980, 1992, and in 2000. Joey Mallick, runner-up in 2023. This is a heck of a matchup, Matt.
Indeed it is. If you're Joey Mallick, you got to play the very best out there to prove what you're worth. And Joe Edley has been one of the very best out there for about 50 years now on the circuit. So this is going to be fun. Joey Mallick, as we mentioned, is your sole leader, a record of 10-2 plus 609. No other player has more than 9 wins. Can Joey keep his one-game lead, or will Joe Edley play big spoiler and make this tournament interesting? Matt Canik, Colby Soren, we're all watching eagerly. EENRTUY. I see Tuyer, Josh. Is that what you play?
Maybe. Yeah. Do you exchange the U and the Y? That's the other thing I'm thinking about. Maybe just exchange the Y, probably not. Tuyer may be worth it. Entry may be worth it, just to score the extra points. Joe Edley's drawn AEFLTW. And just worth mentioning those dates I just said, 1980, 1992, 2000. Joe Edley is almost 80 years old, and he's still kicking. He's still playing some of the best Scrabble in the world. It is so impressive to watch. And we'll see what Joey Mallick ends up doing here. A lot of plays seem really close to me, Matt.
Yeah, it is Tuyer that's winning the sim by about a point and a half over the other options, about 2.5 points above the exchange. And I wonder, too, if psychology is going to play a factor here. Last time Joey was on stream, he went first. He exchanged 2 tiles and played 0 bingos the entire game. I wonder if he's going to change his thinking at all based on that, or if he's got a fresh memory after the lunch break.
Yeah, we'll see what he does. He's taking a while. Tuyer, Tuyer. So many options here on the first move. The total head-to-head record between Joe Edley and Joey Mallick is 34 wins 34 wins Joe, 39 wins Joey, and 1 tie. So Joey with a little bit of an advantage. Joey Mallick's been one of the best players in North America for over 20 years himself. Well-seasoned veteran. Entry is his choice. When in doubt, take the points.
When in doubt, take the points is what Joey opts to do here. Entry is not a play that the engine likes. I think just too many vowels on the leave, and it might be too many vowels for Joey next turn. But we'll shift over to Joe. AEEFLTW, the first rec for him. No E for alewife, I think would be a nice, or no I, excuse me, for alewife. And what do you do now?
Well, if you don't cover that N, you Demons is coming down for Joey Mallick. I'm looking at that Y and that R just to try and hit that double word score. You almost have something like wafery. Can we play the F, the W, and play to the Y? I don't see anything. So maybe wafer for 22. Nothing feels great, though.
Wafer is 22, Wafter 24, Flawy into the Y 28, but Flawy holds just EET back, and I don't feel great about that leave either. So no play feels great. Joe's going to get rid of the FW together, though, with Flawy.
Yeah, when in doubt, take the points. Feels like a broken record here. It's the only way to get rid of the F, the W, and use that Y, despite keeping 2 E's. Totally fine. You're setting them up to the left of FLA potentially for a 4-letter word. Might even draw an A for eater or something. Eateries would fit as a double-double. You Demons coming down for Joey Mallick, and this draw for Joe is going to be very important.
You Demons is 64, but Joey's also got 53 on this turn. He's showing us that he's seen it now. Emerods, double-double. He's going to count this. It looks great, but 53 holding a U versus 64 for the bingo. Well spotted by Joey. Flex for us, and then play the correct bingo instead.
Yeah, and a third E for Joe Edley means he will not be able to respond in turn. So is he going to just play PEE to the left of Flawy? You have the hooks on entry, Sentry, Gentry. Now have the letters to play through, you Demons. It's kind of hard to overlap onto that top middle triple, so those might stay open, but not a great position. We might see Joe play a little bit longer. He does like to play a lot of tiles, go for that turnover, dig into the bag, try and draw a blank.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what we'll see from Joe on this move. A PEE next to the FL of fly feels all right, but PEELER into the E is 32. It plays off all 3 of his E's with 3 more E's already on the board, but that is a lot of points, Josh. Worth it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, just overlapping all the way, scoring as much as you can. Another tactic that top players like to use is scoring points. I feel like a broken record, but if you score over 30 points here, suddenly you're only down 30. If Joey's drawn a poor rack, which he hasn't. He's going to bomb that X next turn. But if he has, then suddenly you can potentially just get back in the game with another scoring play, even if you don't draw a bingo. But yeah, Joey's in great shape now. He's got Toxin on the left of you demons overlapping all the way. He's just got Ox and EX. That is a great draw for him.
Indeed, yeah, the X, set it up and then draw it and then cash it for 50 feels great for Joey Mallick. Here does come Peeler for Joe Edley. Well seen, well spotted. The engine gives this a huge thumbs up as well. And I'm trying to see if there's any reason for Joey Mallick not to play OX. Indeed, there is. OX is 50, but he's got 56 on the other side of you demons.
That's right. As I mentioned, Toxin looks so good. The only issue is that you do set up a bingo lane ending in T. And by taking a bingo lead, that's where you start to worry about, can I stop my opponent from bingoing? But you have to do this. Scores much more. The leave is much more palatable. And hopefully Joe can't bingo to that T anytime soon. He's drawn BMIIRT. And I don't know what his last tile is, but it doesn't look so good to me. Toxin coming down, Joey Mallick up to around 150 points after 3 turns.
Wow.
That is a V.
Ooh, God, the V's just makes it even uglier. It didn't look good, and now it looks worse. So we'll see what Joe chooses to do here. I think opening the board rather imperative for him. There's a pretty natural play of Vims, VIMS, into the S of you demons, but that feels like rolling over and dying in a board where I'm already trailing by 84. I'd be surprised if Joe chooses a blocky play like that over something longer. Vitrine into the NE opens a lot more space, keeps the S open, keeps the entry front hooks open. Do you like Vitrine here, Josh?
Yeah, I was just about to suggest that move. It looks pretty nice. You're keeping a B and an M, which aren't fantastic together, but it's exactly what you want to do. You want to go a little bit longer. And Joe, oops, a little bit of a mistake there, thinking he can put an I next to NE, but quickly realizing that he can't. He only showed Joey that he has a V, and he's definitely going to play that V. I think no matter what here. So a little bit of a mistake there. Sometimes our mind plays tricks on us, thinks we can play a 3-letter word. Yeah, I like Vitrine. Vims, you're right. It just feels pretty bad. I guess the one benefit to Vims, 2 benefits, is you can potentially play through the V later to fork the board. You can potentially play from the EM that would form with your B potentially, and go all the way down to that bottom middle triple, blow the board open, but that's not super likely. There was mention of the word entryway that could possibly happen later on. There's still a W and a Y left. That would be really, really cool for 51.
I wonder if there's any logic to trying to play something different on the flaw turn to keep the W. I don't think so. Fishing for that case Y feels like a bit of a long shot, and the W is an unwieldy tile. Love this play from Joe. Vitrine opened up a lot of space. Feels good.
And look at that draw for Joey. Kept an N and an R, which don't really like each other that much, but 3 R's certainly don't get along very well on the rack. Error is the play you kind of want to play. But yeah, how do you get rid of 2 of the R's here?
I think you might actually get rid of 3. TERROIR down from the T in Vitrine scores just 14, but blocks a whole lot of this board all at once. I don't like how this allows plays into that second R on the triple word, but that is one play that jumps out to me early in this turn. We're definitely going to see Joey slow down. He's looking at Rover, but I don't like how that VER just asks Joe to score some cheap points to open up a bunch of this board. I'd be looking to play somewhere else rather than through the V if I'm Joey.
Yeah, is he looking at ironier now through the eye? That actually looks pretty good. Putting the eye on the top row, it's kind of hard to make a lot of great plays through that eye using the triple, but it does leave some long-term weaknesses to try and exploit if you're Joe Edley. It will create a lane to the left of the R at the very least. But it makes a lot of sense, and that's what Joey Mallick is doing, keeping his lone R, scoring a little bit, pretty much as best as he can without blowing the board open with Rover. Joe Edley has drawn the Q, so he's going to probably just go ahead and play QAT to the left of Irony, or he's probably already looking at that with EFT on the top right. The top left is a better spot now.
Yeah, this is going to be a Q bomb that holds bomb behind. Feels great for Joe and basically an insta play.
Yeah, so 41 points there, 121 for Joe Edley after this, to Joey Mallick's 160, and FRPEEC, and one more tile for Joey Mallick. Joe Edley needs some help. He can definitely draw into some stuff with the sleeve, but most likely he's going to have to spend another turn, try and balance the rack, and open the board maybe further if he feels the need to do that. So that last letter is an A for Joey Mallick. And pray.
Prefacer through the R in vitrine. One bingo is already spotted.
Wow. And that's a word. I would not be sure that this is valid. Very nice find by Joey. 69 points.
Very nice.
Could get a challenge. But I think Joe's going to let it go. His word knowledge is so good. Yeah, not even a hold. These guys are so good at Scrabble.
Yeah, they are. Joey had actually a lot of cool options. 51 for Fakir through the QI at the top of the board. 34 for M Place through the M blank LA on the board as well. But 69, definitely got to play the bingo there. Joe has kept bomb and drawn CHE to go with it. BOMB plays alongside the ER of Prefacer, sets up the back E as well, and keeps that CH combination together. That feels really good to me, Josh.
Yeah, maybe. But we're seeing March here for Joe, 40 points. Look at what Joey's drawn. He's drawn that blank. He's found, I think, his only 7-letter word of kiosk. That's a blank H. I'm not sure if he has an 8-letter word here, but that's
No
a
eights.
fantastic draw for him.
No eights at all, just the 1-7 kiosk, and it does not play, but Kagus and Preficers still feels really good here.
Yeah, that looks really great. Gets rid of the problems, the G and the U, constricts the board. That R and Prefacer is really the only problem right now for Joey Mallick. He has a nice lead of 68 points. He does not want Joe Edley to narrow the gap or even take a lead with a double-double. And Kagus would place the U right below that double word score, making it nearly impossible to get a double-double down. So the only problem with Kagus, the K placement. Joe can certainly just play through that K in a lot of situations and open the board on two fronts. We call that a board forking play. If you reach that triple letter score with a high scoring tile, the blue square, dark blue square, you play through the K, go all the way down to that pink square, the double word score. You're opening two spots at once, and you can't block both at once.
Yeah, you don't like, especially with the J and the Z unseen, Jakes, Jokes, Jukes, Zooks, all options that could be big bingo plays for Joe through the K on the board. I don't know if you can make many strong inferences after Joe's last play of March within about 10 seconds in terms of what he's leaving, but Kagus with all that stuff unseen and with board forking plays also quite possible. You saw Joey set up AUKS instead, but it's a 4-point sacrifice and preserves a G on the rack. Kagus is risky, but probably just too good to do anything else here.
Right, you have a blank, so most likely something's going to come your way eventually. You don't want to open the board, you don't want to let your opponent open the board, but at the same time, you just want to keep playing, keep scoring, keep padding that lead. Something is very likely to materialize eventually.
Okay, so we'll see. Kaguz comes down for Joey, and Joe doesn't have any of those strong board forking plays. Nothing really to do through that K except the rather aggressive out bake. One short of a double word, keeping DD or with DDD SS blank blank unseen. We're not going to see that come down, Josh, are we?
I saw that play. I didn't even feel the need to mention it, but it is an option. You're in desperation mode. If you're Joe Edley, you're down 104 with only around a third of the game to go. The board isn't great. What else is there? I don't know. Just bot underneath the AGU. Ugh, everything sucks.
Man, everything sucks. That's what I can continue contributing to our analysis here. I don't know, maybe Rubato from the R and Prefacer, 16 points, but gets us out to the bottom and the right side of this board.
Yeah, I hate using that R. That R seems like it's gonna stay there for a potential couple turns. But again, everything is awful here. You maybe want to try to open the board a little desperately, something like Butte through the A of Kaguz, keeping ABO to try and open a triple down there, and feign that you have an S. 2 S's to go, 2 blanks to go, a Y for beauty. Just feels like a recipe for disaster so often. But when you're so far behind, over 100 points down, your chances of winning are in the single digits a lot of the time. And your opponent's chances of having a letter you don't want them to have can often be higher than that. So if your winning chances are lower than your opponent's chances of having something, you might want to go for it anyway.
I might just play Bout into EFT here. It's not a strong score, but I can play through the B and open up an annoying line on the far right side of this board afterwards. I'll keep all right. ABE is fine. Better than most other things I can keep here. I don't know. Everything is really bad. That might be the least bad.
Yeah, you have to have some creativity here to find plays. Bout is something I also thought about, and it actually allows you to just reach the triple next turn. Maybe Joey's going to use it, but that'll create some space on the top right, which is right now just totally closed off for business. Yeah, I think the more I look at it, the more I think Bout and Eft is the best chance for Joe Edley here. But Joey Mallick just crushing his competition. He's lost 2 games only, and he's off to a raring start here, up 265 to 161. He has one of the 2 remaining blanks. Feels really hard for him to lose. He's only taken 7.5 minutes of time. Everything's working out for him here.
Yeah, he's drawn into Angina and a blank. It looks like no bingos play for him right now, but he's probably not super worried about that. Just go slow, take my time, keep good letters, and win the game. Oh my God, Josh, here it is.
That is amazing. I love it. I love the energy of this play. Joe's probably just like, well, okay, let's see what happens here. Just opening that double for the taking. And can Joey do anything about this with his blank?
No.
So he's going to have a little bit of a, what the heck do I do about this?
Oh my God, that's incredible.
Yeah, this is content. This is really, really nice.
Play Sangha for 40 points. No, Joey's in a really awkward place here. I don't know what kind of soul read that was for Joey, or for Joe Edley, rather. So often Joey crushes the spot, but Joe rolling the dice and sneaking this one through. And now Joey's in an awkward position.
I think we're going to see him play Nag and NE to block off that outbaked spot. Score something, keep a balance, just try to bingo next turn. Maybe you bingo from the G. The G is not a great tile to start 8-letter words with. But yeah, he's going to take some time to process this and say, well, I can't deal with both threats. And that U and outbake to the right of the triple is not a huge threat. The X is gone. The M's are gone. So there's probably not much that Joe can do there. Joe hoping for an N out in space somehow for Woodbine. That's not happening.
Yeah, wild, 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 wild. So I don't know if you're Joey. Do you try to play some defense here, nag or ANA in front of the E and outbake? Look like the ways to do that. Do you go crazy aggressive offense and say, fine, let's open the board and play Malanga from the disconnected MLA at the top of the board? No, but that'd be really fun, and I'm here for it. I think we're going to see the block.
Yeah, another suggestion of ANA in the same spot. NAG or ANA in the bottom left, hooking that E of outbake, just handling the threat. Do you prefer keeping ING blank or do you prefer keeping AIN blank? ING is a fantastic way to end words, and on this board, you're probably going to be able to play your ING words a lot of the time if they're 8 letters long. But maybe you want to play a little safer, score a little bit more.
This is the
That's what
problem with nag.
Joey's doing.
Joe can now just play ADO and outbaked, score a million, and reopen the board. ANA protects from exactly that possibility. I would have played ANA there, I think, for blocking purposes, and I think Joey Mallick's about to see why.
Yeah, Adobo also for 8 more
Ooh, yeah.
is probably the play for Joe Edley. And if he can just draw a bingo in the next couple of moves and prevent Joey from drawing said bingo, but that play of nag seems a little bit scary to me. It looks like they're correcting the score of you demons, just making sure they're both on the same page. But the play of nag, what does that tell Joe Edley? I don't think he has to really think too hard. He just has to take the points and just hope. But wow, very, very good draw for Joey Mallick. He's going to be able to score very nicely with the Z here.
Yeah, Zenaida not going to be playable for Joey Mallick, but he will be able to do some damage. Adobo coming down, and we'll see what Joey wants to do. Nazi and ON is 41. Looks to be the standard play, but does terrible things for the board. When you're ahead, the last thing you want to do is create a really easy bingo line for most sevens to fit in. If he wants to play more defense, he can burn the blank. ADZING beneath the BO of Adobo is 56. 15 more points, but great defense. Is that worth it, Josh?
Wow, very interesting idea as Joe Edley draws into Wigless. Is that even a word? Adzing for 50 plus or Nazi for 35. I think you just take 35, keep the blank again. You just have to be patient with the blank a lot of the time. Something should materialize for Joey Mallick. He's up 53. Playing for 41 with NAZI is going to bring him up 94. So he can definitely fade those bingos that he's setting up. So I think it's totally fine.
Ooh. Wigless is valid. So if Joey inexplicably doesn't block the bottom of the board, that'd be huge. But I'd be shocked if that's what we end up seeing. Nazi or Adzing so likely to be the play that's going to come down here. Maybe Joey wants to play GAB and AN or AD and UDO instead. Set up Udon and Nazi for next turn, but Udo also takes the back S.
No way.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, there's no way. Like he's looking at Adzing. Wow, I mean, you're scoring so much, but I feel like the blank is worth more here. I feel like you're up by enough after Nazi. Yeah, the only thing I would ever consider Joey doing not blocking the triple, which again we're playing hope Scrabble here. Tiz and SI for 34, keeping 2As, no way. Joey's gonna just take the points, make it much harder for Joe Edley to bingo and just go over by 100. Makes a lot of sense, but what if Joe still bingos and bingos again? He could still win. Interesting. You're keeping the A back. I don't hate it.
Yeah, no, it just seems really, really hard to lose the game after this play. And yeah, you may not win by as much burning the blank here, but just win, baby. I'm a game up on the field. It's Joe freaking Edley on the other side. Just win. This is going to allow Joey, I think, to do that the most often. Wigless now unplayable for Joe Edley. Twigless would be great from the T and Toxin, except for you demons, just slightly in the way. And now a very hard turn for Joe Edley. I don't know what to do, Josh.
Yeah, so often after adzing, it's just like, well, all right, that'll do it for that one. How does Joe Edley untangle here? He probably has to play really short and hope for 2 bingos. How do you do that? Do you play lag for 4, law for 6 to the right of Flawey? There's just not enough time to bingo twice so much of the time. Right now, 12 tiles in the bag. If you play 1 and Joey's able to play 5, you can't bingo twice. That'll leave 6 tiles in the bag. And you need to bingo twice here, I think. You can score maybe twice. You can play wigs and Fs and then maybe score on one of the triples and then bingo. So that's probably still not going to be enough.
Yeah, I think you're just done here.
Wow.
I don't see anything.
Yeah, Joey, not with a great draw, but he's drawn a lot of the remaining vowels, which is pretty helpful. And yeah, Joe just trying to find some resource on this board that pretty much isn't there. Wigs and Fs is the standard move. That's what I expect him to do eventually. But yeah, maybe technically the way to try and win is to play off 1 tile. Maybe you play ELL. It's all about how often you bingo. So after law, do you bingo the most, keeping EIGLSS? After lag, do you bingo more? I really feel like it's either play 1 tile here, exchange 1 tile, or
Matthew
just give up.
Kingston coming in chat saying mileage through the disconnected MLA that sets up the last 2 S's. That seems reasonable on a play where nothing else is.
Sure. Yeah, maybe that gives you just enough to potentially bingo for a ton up there if Joey can't do anything about that. That's a great idea. But we're seeing wigs instead.
Wigs and loose.
Basically. So now Joey Mallick, up to him. Do I play through the W? I mean, you can't really do anything through the W, can you? Play Woo or Wad or
Diwan, DIWAN for 30.
Oh, D1. Yeah, if he sees that, he's playing that, I think.
You don't want to hold AOO, but no more O's to come, no more A's to come. All right, maybe we just send it. 30 points is a ton. I'm going to go up by 115. I don't know. Send it. Diwan seems fine.
Yeah, very nice. The one and only.
Very good.
And Joey now setting up a Noah that fits to the right of Outbaked, making OARUNTO and BA. It's a decent play. It's good enough. As long as you play more than 1 tile, prevent Joe from bingoing twice. You're good here, I think.
A Noah does allow Jeers to come down for 1 million.
Yeah, but after Jeers, it'll be 6 tiles on Joe Edley's rack at least.
Oh, yeah, then you're good.
So there we go. A Noah is the play, leaving 4 in the bag. Seems totally fine. D1, maybe slightly better for spread. Not really sure. Spread being the tiebreaker. We've talked about it a few times. Joey Mallick at plus 609. Joe Edley plus 204. We had a tie. That's the one thing that breaks the tiebreaker. And it was Joey Kraftchick versus Chris Cree, right? I think.
Yes.
And so both of them no longer have to worry about the margin between them and their opponents in their games.
There was another tie recently in a game against 2 players who are up there. Lisa Odom playing to a tie against Michael Thielen. So Lisa at 7.5 wins right now, also up there with a tie.
And insult to injury is Gov coming down, desperation, trying to open a triple. What else? Makes sense for Joe Edley for 7, but look at that blank for Joey Mallick. He's probably just going to play Jowd through the W. I guess there's something to be said about trying to block some potential bingo that Joe has. So maybe you look for that before just pulling the trigger on the 51 points. Maybe you play Jived instead just to block the V.
Well, jived, blocked the V, but also play off an I with two more unseen makes sense. Joey has Josh over on the left side of this board for 60, burning the blank, making SOAR and HUN. Joe last turn did have one option that felt a little better than this. YWIS. Left one tile in the bag, strung an S out in space, scored 42. That's still probably going to get blocked all the time by Joey, but that I think maybe there's a Hail Mary chance after that play.
Yeah, maybe. Probably not. I guess Jived gives back Illites, so maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you just play Jive, or maybe you play Josh. Joey's played his blank off for a non-bingo already this game. It would be a thematic choice for him. But we're seeing Jived instead, which, again, it gives back Illites, so might not be the most precise. But that's not what Joe Edley has. He has EIILSTY. Bag is now empty. Joey Mallick drawing RLE, I believe.
There was one threat using the V that Joey had to think about. It's virilely, VIRILELY. I think after a play of Gov, you assume Joe has the S and can't actually have that on his rack. But technically, one thing you want to think about there if you're Joey and he's blocked it.
Yeah, maybe just Jive, though. Might have been slightly more precise. Who knows? The margins are so thin, and you got the win. You're up 150 on the legend himself, Joe Edley, who's really just so impressive at his age. And this is a bad game for him, for sure. He's under 300 points, but honestly, he played this game quite well. He just didn't get what he needed.
Yeah, and Joey showed great command of the word of the lexicon here. Prefacer is a hard word to pull the trigger on, and Joey showed absolutely no hesitation. So well deserved for him. I think there are a lot of players in the room who aren't sure of that word, maybe try it in desperation, but Joey, a machine, crushed it.
Yeah, he's been crushing it. So Joey Mallick, the sole leader into round 13, into round 14, actually. This will be round 13. One more game today to end things off. And it'll be a very interesting arrangement of top players at the top of the standings. It's Joe Edley trying to play his best endgame. Again, he's a student of the game. Speaking of students of the game, Mac Meller, student of Joe Edley, they've played tons over the years, and Mac's learned so much from Joe. They've learned from each other. They're great friends, and it's great to see Joe still playing these championships.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe is 78 years old and still firing on all cylinders as far as I'm concerned. A great game from him, but he is going to come up short against Joey Mallick in this one. Looking like next round, as Joey Mallick is going to retain first place with the win here, probably going to stick with showing Joey Mallick, and he's got another tough matchup with Joey Kravchik. So a match of the Joeys coming your way to round out day two. That one's going to be exciting for sure.
Yeah, you thought we were done saying Joey, trying to not confuse the two names. Well, we're going to have to use last names on the next matchup. Kravchik versus Mallick, for sure. It's board one. It's always a clash of the Joeys. Love to see it. And Joe Edley here, again, is he going to be able to make it to 300? Don't think so. What is Joey Mallick threatening? Is he threatening an outplay? Shorl?
World, WHORL, plays over on the left side of this board for 9,000 points. Joe needs to block that.
Yeah, Shorl and Worl. Both words making roar and LUN. Yeah, how do you block that list?
You play list and soar and ton and keep EIY.
Oh my goodness. I hate it. I think maybe Yetis makes the most sense. Do you go out with LI? What do you go out with EIY?
You don't. You just don't care.
Wow.
You play for 19 next to fly, LAY and EWE.
Jeez. That is just god awful, but he's making the best play. 25 points, list, ton, and soar. 280 is Joe Edley's score now. Joey Mallick at 405. Gonna try and find some outplay here. I don't think he has one.
No, he does not. Oh man, and the best end game for Joey is really fun here.
It's a nice puzzle. It's always fun at the end of the game. You don't have to care about who's winning or losing. You can find your best out sequence, and it's important to try. And every player we've seen, I think, has taken that into account, just trying to find their best sequences. And games are really hard. I don't know what the sequence is.
Joey can win by as much as 134 here. So find a way to squeak 9 extra points in your advantage if you're Joey. This one's silly and stupid, and I love it.
Guess it must be some sort of setup, the way that you're talking about it, Matt.
Context clues, huh?
Yeah. How can you set up your H? Da 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 da. Log for 3? No. Wow. I have no idea. Tell us.
It is OCH through the C in prefacers, setting up LEER and Oches as an outplay next turn.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sometimes we see these end games and we just wish we were watching Nigel Richards solve them, because that
Yeah, we
is
know he would.
ridiculous. And OCH is one of Nigel Richards' best plays of all time, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think that's right. That rings bells.
Wow, that's really, really funny. Yeah, how the game speaks to us. I love those repetitions. Those things that remind us of other games. I love the injury sequence with Jackson Smiley. If you missed it, Jackson Smiley played injury, INDRI, and then the next move he played injury, INDRI. And both times it was good play. Yeah, some comedy, some poetry, some prose, some cons. That's Scrabble for you.
Yeah, we've already seen a lot of spooky stuff. The double austere, the double metanoia, the double injury. We've seen 2 triple triples already on board 1 just 2 days into this tournament. We've seen all kinds of stuff. Mercury is in retrograde, so I'm going to blame that.
Joey Mallick has HO. Okay, you didn't play him in the right spot, sadly. But OH is the play for 16, blocking YE. And now Joe Edley is probably going to play Icy.
I think he's going to play Toy, YE, and Bay.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Joey did find one of his second best end game sequences. This wins by 133, just 1 extra point available in the Ock to Oches setup.
Yeah, so YE for 16, Joe Edley's best play, will not get him over the hump. Really, really sucks to not score 300 at this level, but it does happen from time to time. One of the players in this tournament, Ari Sinki, I believe he had a run of something like 100 tournament games or something like that without scoring under 300, if my memory serves me, which is incredibly impressive, because it just does happen. You have games like this. Joe Edley played at a very high level. It's just really, really rough for him. Maybe some nuances missed here and there, but played a very strong game.
Ari's streak was way longer than 100 games. I think it was like 300 or 400, if memory serves. I thought I had that record, so I went through every top expert trying to find anybody with a longer streak, and Ari's was like crazy. I think he started his career. It was several years ago, nearly a decade ago, where he had it, but it was like 300 or 400 games over 300 in a row. It was spooky.
Well, I apologize to Ari if that is indeed the case, because yeah, that is impressive. I mean, even 50 games is impressive at the top level. But Joe Edley scoring 296 total in this one. Joey Mallick going to go out with his R, L, and blank with Turl for 6. And that'll be that. Let's listen to the overhead mic here.
You made the right decision playing that. I had wigless, my right.
Wow.
Wouldn't quite fit there, but it fit beautifully there.
Yeah, I had another A with that wreck.
Even if I had gotten it with you having the Z in the blank, you would have found something else.
Yeah.
Thought for 1 second about saving the WA in case I picked the Y up, but
Oh, entryway, yeah.
I didn't think it was worth it, so I didn't. Not much to say about this game. This was
Matt, he is ridiculous.
interesting choice. I didn't really have
Seeing
any great
everything.
plays,
Yeah.
so at least it made you think a bit.
Yeah, I had the blank. I had AIN blank with that.
AIN. Really?
Yeah.
You couldn't bingo,
I
huh?
don't think so.
AIN. A. G.
Started with an R. I missed something, but
2 N's, right? You had 2 N's.
yeah, one again. Anginas. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's tough. This was just
Yeah.
a last-ditch effort.
I couldn't believe that stayed open for me. I thought that was just gonna get used somehow.
Well, I didn't have anything.
Yeah, but
Couldn't put anything in front of it.
yeah. Kind of.
There's nothing. This was my best play by far, I think. I didn't see anything else. I had 3 E's.
I needed an E for ornery, or I had another R with fire.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep, indeed. So, Joey Mallick, the sole leader at 11 wins, 2 losses after 13 of 14 rounds on day 2 of the 2026 Scrabble Players Championship in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. We have one more game. Myself and Matt Canik, we're going to be calling Joey Mallick, Joey Krafchick. And while we get that game set up, we're going to take one final break for the day. And what a banger to come up, Matt, excuse me.
Yeah, Joey and Joey coming soon, so stay tuned, strap up. One game to go. We'll see you guys in a few minutes.